Hi guys, my name is Tavengwa. 3 years ago, I wrote this book called Tips for Young Women Before Settling Down. This is a special book because it was inspired by my own life story and just to give tips to young women, especially those who are at that age of where where they feel like they are ready to settle down. But it's also good for couples as well, especially newlyweds. It helps a lot with the tips. So I'm gonna talk through the chapters in this book because every time when I look on social media in women's groups or other groups, a lot of issues about marriage and settling down. I feel like these tips need to be given all the time because people are going through a lot in marriages and those who are settled down. And I can imagine those who are single, they start to fear, to enter into marriage. So I think those who are married, it's always good to give advice to those, our juniors, it helps a lot. So the chapters in my book, first chapter is prayer. Second one is focus on your goals. Third one, strive for independence. 4 is take your time. 5, get to know him well. 6, don't ignore red flags. 7, check his family. 8, how to know if he's the one. 9, purpose of your union. 10, settling down. So I'm going to talk through the chapters so that whoever wants to purchase the book is available online, or you can contact me to send you a copy. Yeah, it's a must-have copy, even if it's not buy for someone that you think might need it. The first one is prayer. Before everything, we have to put God first, especially as in Black African. We're raised, to believe in God, and I was raised as a Christian. So I always believe that in all the decisions, you have to put God first. I know that sometimes we forget, we want to lean on our own understanding, but it's always important to put God first, to pray about your life, so prayer is a major one. If, let's say, you meet someone and you feel like it's getting serious and like it could be the one, it's always good to pray to God to give you signs. God is so good because he always gives signs. I know that sometimes you might choose to ignore them, but God always gives signs about people if you really observe. So involve him on your decision. Don't doubt God. I know sometimes people avoid that side because they think, oh no, even when God shows you the sign on someone that you really, really like, but the signs, God is saying no, there's a reason, because God can see what's ahead that you cannot see in the current time. Probably you're falling in love and you can't see much, but God is our eye, can see what's hidden. People can pretend sometimes, especially the early stages. So it's very, very important to be in touch with God. And especially if your guy as well is a believer, sometimes you can even pray together, especially if the relationship is serious. You can pray together as a couple. There's a lot of temptations out there. Some people always say that there's this thing about the devil being against marriages and all that. So always good to put God in your union or in your relationship. Okay, my second chapter is focus on your goals. It's very, very important to focus on your goals. All of us should have a plan that, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? At a certain point in life, you write down all your goals on what you want to do. So focus is very, very important. Always focus, no distractions. This is your life. This is about your future. This is what you want to achieve. It doesn't matter how long it will take you, as long as you go along, you're ticking that, okay, this goal has been achieved, this one has been achieved. So goals could be in the form of a career, or someone who's studying a degree, or it could be someone who's gifted in the business. They can start small and grow in that business, or so we've got so many things that people are doing. As long as you focus and you've made a plan about your life. Why I say that is there's a lot of distractions that happen in life. It could be especially in relationships. Some people, they end up marrying young, probably before they they sort of like achieve their goals, and it can distract you sometimes. So even if I'm not saying you should get married when the opportunity arises and you feel like it's the right time, but remember to always create a balance, so that you achieve. It's very, very important to always, focus at all times, no distractions. Yes, we can be delayed sometimes, but as long as we know that whenever we get a chance, we can now go back and try to push, to have something for yourself. Don't be that type of person that because of love or because of marriage, you think like everything has to stop. Like, I can't even be yourself, yeah, like do your own thing, So yeah, it's very, very important, especially for girls. Usually we're the ones who end up like changing certain things, because maybe if you get married, you start having kids, things change, all your plans can just sort of like, what I can say is you can take a gap year maybe to raise your child and all that, but go back again and do something. Don't just relax, maybe especially if your husband can provide for you. Don't relax here. Next one is strive for independence. Like I said before, independence means someone who has their own income. It doesn't matter what you do. It could be business, it could be a job, good job that you have, or, any means of living. I'm not saying, I'm not encouraging things which are not straightforward, yeah, but I'm just saying that honest living, and an honest living for yourself, your own income. It could be something small, but it will grow, definitely. Very, very important to be independent. Why I say that? Because especially for women, if you rely on someone, you don't know tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow may come. It could split, or that person, you could lose that person through death, through the hands of death. So just life is unpredictable. So always have to be prepared to cope on our own if things don't work out the way we expected. I know that sometimes you may meet someone who's rich, a man who's rich, who can take care of you, and they say, I want you to stay at home and I do everything. I think no, don't allow a man to convince you to do that. That's why you see that there's a lot of role models, like celebrities, whereby you think, oh my god, these are so rich, but the wife will still have her own businesses. So even if your husband is rich, let him open a business for you, or a boutique or something. If he doesn't want you to work, you can hire workers, and you just have your own side, something that you can do for yourself. Enjoy, like going to your boutique and doing something. Don't allow him to say just stay at home. In the end, it can end up boring. What if he gets tired in the end? Like I always say, like, things can be sweet in the beginning, but things change with time. So that's why it's very, very important for everyone, every adult to have their own income. Very, very important. Don't get too comfortable. My next chapter is chapter 5, get to know him well. um get to know him well. I wrote this chapter because sometimes we don't give ourselves time as women to get to know a guy who's just met. Probably you're at that age of settling down, or you're thinking you want to get things serious. So the way that you feel sometimes, you can project it to a guy. If a guy likes you and he feels like, oh, this girl probably she's looking to settle down, they can pretend sometimes, like pretend that they want to settle down just to impress you. So, but you have to be careful. Give yourself time to study someone. Like I always say, there's not really a formula, but when you take time, it just avoids you making a mistake. Because when you just meet someone, things are nice, you're crazy about him, butterflies and all that. So things are nice in the early days. But don't forget to take your time. And if you've got your sisters, friends around you, just listen to what they say. Because as long as you trust their advice, just listen to what they're saying. If they tell you, just take your time, don't rush things, yes, listen. Because they know what they're talking about. There's a lot of women who rushed and got bent. So take your time, there's a lot to know about someone, especially their behavior, their habits, how they get angry, if ever they're offended, how they react. Are they calm, or they got a temper, or are they short-tempered? So it's all those things that you need to know. Are they violent? Even if it's for the men as well, is the woman violent? Is the woman short-tempered? Or all those things we need to check, because when if you rush to settle down and you discover all those things when everything has been done, big wedding, lobola and all that, you don't need that. To check how they treat people, it says a lot about them. Are they polite? Are they kind? I'd advise you to go for someone who's kind. Yeah, so all those things you need to know. And are they supportive of your goals? Do they know what you want to do? Because you don't want to be with someone who doesn't respect your goals or respect what you do, and they want to control you, make you lose yourself. All those goals that you've set for yourself, they go down the drain because of love. So you lose yourself. So it's important to have someone who understands what you want in life, and see if you, whatever they want and whatever you want, it matches. There's no perfection, but if, like say, a lot of boxes are ticked, then you know that probably there could be something there. I would say 6 months is a minimum to know someone, because definitely anything below 6 months, it can be a pretense, or it can be. But then again, on the other hand, there's people who've met, and within 2 months they know this is the right one. It's always different, and it works. Actually, they can be together for years, so it's different for every situation. But just most of the time, it's better to give it time. 6 talks about don't ignore red flags. Who all been in love, who all feel the butterflies and all that, to a point that we ignore red flags. So, but I think the right thing to do is not to ignore red flags, and we can all see them. That's why I said in the first chapter, involve God, because God will show you the red flags of someone. If you pray and ask God to show you, they will show you those red flags. But it's a matter of whether you ignore them or you accept that no, there's a problem here. Because most of the time we ignore red flags due to that maybe we feel like time has run out, or age wise, or you feel the pressure. You feel the pressure, maybe from family or something, that you have to settle down, to the point of ignoring red flags, or you're taken by looks. Some guys, they could be so handsome, and you think like, I don't want to lose him, I'll just force it, he will change. Or you think, I will change him. No, you can't change no one. It's very, very hard, and unless they want to change for themselves and commit to you. So you have to be careful. A guy can love you so much, or can like you so much, and enough to change, but that should be his own decision, not you thinking that you can change someone because you've seen red flags, or maybe no, I think I will change him. We have to be careful, because if it's for settling down or marriage is a long-term decision. So it's not to be taken lightly, because once you are locked into the house, my mom used to always say that you don't know someone very well until you live together, because that's when you see every bit of behavior, every single habit, everything that they do. So we have to be careful, like not ignore red flags, because definitely, if you will definitely see the red flags, and some red flags can actually be fixed, some they cannot be. So it depends. I'm not gonna go deep about these red flags. Purchase my book and you see about those red flags that I'm talking about, which are not to ignore. So yeah, get a copy. My next chapter is check his family. Ooh, what I see in groups of ladies complaining about mothers-in-law, aunties, people intervening in their relationships. So what I want to say is that check his family. Like I said before, butterflies, the excitement that you have sometimes can blind you into checking those things, and you think, oh, I'll see that later. So, but I would advise from experience that get to know his family and know what sort of people they are. Some families, they are very, very close to each other, the way they were raised. Sometimes it could be a situation whereby they was raised by their mom, maybe the dad died when they were young, or the mom was a single mom. So maybe she might have struggled to raise those kids, and she put her all in those kids. So you find that the bond is too high. This is my son. They grew up as a very, very close family. And then obviously you meet that guy, and you find that she is very, very close to the mom and the sisters and or the brothers. So you have to be comfortable with that if you like the person. But if you see that you're not comfortable with that, then you can't settle with that kind of person, because when it comes to marriage, sometimes you may feel like you're excluded, or you start to feel like he always puts his family first before you. Not saying it's a wrong thing, but there's a in the Bible, so like the Bible says, therefore a man shall leave his parents and be united to his family, to his wife, and they become one. But in some families, you find that some men put their family first. So what do you do about that? Will you say, oh, no, no, why are you putting your mom first? So it may cause some fights and all that, but it's because of the bond that they have. So even if it was you, there's women as well who are very close to their mom, so that everything that they do in their marriage, they have to tell their mom, get advice from the mom will come in and do. So the way you feel about your mom as a woman as well, that's the same way a man can feel. So who are we to say to a man that, oh, this and that about your mom? You're going to be a mom yourself. You don't want anything to separate you from your son. But what I always say is that the love you have for your mother as a man and the love you have for your wife should be different. Your mother is your queen, the one that gave birth to you. There's respect that comes with it, the love that's unconditional, that's your mom. But your wife, you are united as in a life partner. So you, as a man, you should be able to separate that and make sure that they don't clash. Give your mom the attention that she needs. She's the one who gave birth to you. Also respect your wife, involve her in the decision that you make, so that she doesn't feel left out or feel like you're prioritizing your own family first and you're abandoning her. So I think if a man is serious, they will know how to create a balance. Check his family comes as well, that don't be the one that comes and causes confusion in a family. You know, there's women who talk too much and they just come in there and just cause confusion. So it's always good to be humble and fit in and know that you're someone that's coming out of love, bond with that family, take them as your family, as your sister, as your, but then there's some families who are difficult as well. So that's what I say in the book, check his family and see if it's something that, remember, it's not just going to be the two of you. There's Christmas times, birthdays where you meet together with the family. So there's no way you can just keep the man to yourself. It's so uncomfortable as a woman if you want to just keep the man to yourself and he's falling out with his family. You think you can give him all the love that you need. No, no, you can't. It's too much pressure. It's always good to bond with the family and meeting gatherings, make peace. You know, it's nicer. If a man remains close to his family, he's more happier than you trying to keep him to yourself and say, oh, your mother is not good, your sister. But these are the people that they grow together. Try to make peace and like make them, you know, it's your duty as a woman to keep the family close. Sometimes you are the helper that comes and bond the family even better. Be very like kind, inviting to your house, you know. So like I said, that get the copy and read more about that. You know, I'm just giving you highlights. I can't finish anything, everything that's in the book, but this is a book that lives on for many years. You know, things that a lot of people are facing right now. So like I said, that get the copy and read more about that. You know, I'm just giving you highlights. I can't finish anything, everything that's in the book, but this is a book that lives on for many years. You know, things that a lot of people are facing right now. Chapter 8 is how to know if he's the one. So get this copy, you know, and you see for yourself the tips that I gave out of experience, how to know he's the one. But all I can say for now is how he treats you. Whether does he respect you, is he kind to you, is he committed to you, does he communicate well, is he available for you, does he put you first above all other women that he knows, like friends, or does he put you first? So those are the signs. So just get the copy and you get some tips on how to know if he's the one. And if anyone has questions about that, you can just contact me. You know, I love talking about these things from experience and from what I see in others. I'm not saying I've got the answer or I'm an expert in that, but I can just help. I'm passionate about women empowerment. I'm passionate about my sisters. I'm passionate about talking to women about this stuff, you know, because it affects us in our everyday life. and no one is perfect, no one has all the answers, but we're all learning. The least we can do is to help each other, support each other, guide each other. We all make mistakes, but if we're willing to learn and correct ourselves, then the world will be a better place. There's no perfection, but some things can be fixed, some cannot be fixed. So as sisters, be a sister's keeper. Yeah. Chapter 9, purpose of your union. Obviously, when you meet a guy and you feel like, oh, things are serious, you've checked all the boxes, all that we talked about and all that, and then there comes a realization that what is the purpose of your union? You and your man, and you want to settle down, what you want to achieve, discuss with your partner and all those kind of things. How many kids you want, and finances and all that, make sure that all those have been checked. It's very, very important, because finances, I didn't forgot to mention that before. There were another reason that caused a lot of discomfort in marriages. So it's very important when you get to that stage to have planned, checked all those things, make sure that all your plans they align, because you don't want surprises. The other one, when they get paid, they want to just enjoy themselves, buy the finest things, labels, and drive the best cars and all that. But some are into saving and investing and all that. So make sure that your plans align. There's no one who's right or wrong. Everyone's got the right to do what they want with their monies. But if you are settling down with someone, make sure you check that. It's a major, major cause. That's why you see sometimes couples, you find that the woman is doing their own thing, the man is doing their own thing. There's secrets there. Someone built a house without telling the other, and it's not good. Because when you lie to the other person, you're also lying to yourself, because you always have to hide and it's uncomfortable. It's always good to be open. But this is because people realized after a while that, oh, this person maybe is not the right one, or this person is not responsible with money, so I'm gonna have to save and do my own things secretly, which is not good. That's why it's important to do all these checks, but we struggle to do that sometimes as human beings. No one is immune to that. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. So, but all we can do is advise each other, help each other in this thing called life. Those who are experienced, to advise our juniors, and our juniors, listen to your sisters. They will not mislead you. I know that nowadays the young generation, these 2000 kids, like the early 20 kids, they think they know everything, because everything now is on social media and all that. So they think, oh, we don't need advice, we can find things for ourselves. But listen to your sisters. When someone is advising you, they mean well for you, to be honest, because there's no woman who goes into a marriage thinking that, oh, divorce or things will go wrong. It's everyone's wish that things remain sweet, but life is not always straightforward. So that's why if you make a mistake as a sister, you've learned something there, you know that you can advise another person not to fall in the same trap. You understand? So that's why I'm saying, whenever someone advises you because of experience, listen to them. It's hard to take advice from someone who hasn't experienced these things. You have to have experience most of the time, because the real feeling. Exactly the the real thing, not just guessing. Understand? So yeah, check your advisors and know, the people who mean well and who advise you right. And later on, you will see that definitely they were right. So don't underestimate the advice of big sisters. And then number 10 is settling down. This is when you've done all your checks and now you're content that this is time to settle down. I wish we could take our time and not rush things, and then maybe so many marriages will not be breaking. Maybe if you don't settle for the wrong reason. Sometimes people settle for financial stability, or for certain gains. Of course, we all gain from in love. Sometimes the men, they gain something from you, and you gain, as long as it's done in a good way and you understand each other. But if you settle for the reasons, oh my God, for the wrong reasons, it will come back to you, come back crushing you. There's no shortcut to life as such. All those things will come back biting you. So try to do things in a way that's reasonable, and take your time, because there's a lot going on. So many stories in marriages, like it's really, really sad, because why I'm saying it's sad is that most of the time women realize all this wrong, the red flags that they ignored when there's kids involved. This in women is affecting a lot of kids. I know that it doesn't mean that kids with parents who are not together, they cannot be normal or they can't be, but they are bruised. Our kids are bruised when we split. So let's think about our children, that if we make these careless decisions, it doesn't really affect us because we're adults. We might cope with it, but what about the kids? It's not every divorced or separated couple that will be able to arrange, what to call this thing whereby you share, we co-parent. Yeah, it's not every couple that will be able to like remain civil for the kids. Some people are fighting, some people they don't. Once the men they split, the men don't want to see the kids or provide for the kids, and it's really, really sad. So that's why we have to be careful and take our time, think about the future. That is this the man that I want to be the father of my kids? you know because it will come back crushing you. It hurts a lot because it's very hard as a woman to be the one responsible. Like, for me as a woman, I think I'm unable to give all the love myself. I feel like the father of the kids has to give them love as well. Together it creates a balance, but there's sometimes, obviously, there's sometimes people die as well. So in that case, it's unfortunate, I mean. But if both parents are alive, then it's very important for them to be involved in the kids' life. So that's why I don't. It's important to make decisions in life knowing that it doesn't affect other people. You know, a lot of kids are being raised in broken homes, and it's so painful, especially in cases where sometimes could have been avoided. There's sometimes a woman can take their time, do the right thing, get married, everything, but still things go wrong. Like I said, there's not really a formula. We're just all trying. There's no perfection. We're just all trying. So, but let's just try to do things right so that we don't hurt our children or we don't hurt all those other people involved in our marriages. Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to purchase a copy or purchase for someone that you know might need it. Thank you, my darlings. Thank you. Any questions, just contact me. Or if you want to discuss these things with me, contact me. I'm going to be doing lots of videos about my books and about these things, love and relationship tips and all them things. So if you want to join me, or if you want to have a discussion with me, you're welcome to contact me. Just DM me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening.